Good morning, student. Welcome to the online classes. We are going to study Evolution of Man. Social study classes, class 5, Evolution of Man. Children, in our previous lesson, we have seen till Ice Age. We will further move on to man stands erect. Let's see in the lesson. The tree apes, common ancestor of gorilla, chimpanzee, and man, lived around 10 million years ago. Some of the apes came down from the tree and gradually learned to stand and then to walk with the help of their hind legs. This was the most important event in man's evolution. Children, let's see what happened when man stands erect means when man started to stand erect. As I am standing straight, meaning erect. The ancestors were ape. Apes are chimpanzees and gorilla. We are mammals. These are mammals, and we are coming from these two families, and from these two families came man into existence, and man has lived how many years? Million years ago. Man has been living on earth from the past million years, and man was called ape man first. Early man was called ape man. Let's see. The erect position helped men to look farther in all directions and to save themselves from their enemies, mostly the bigger animals. They were thus on the road to developing a new way of life. Man was slowly evolving himself and developing his habits towards the nature, and he was finding a way of living. Let's see in further. Life on earth resulted in biological changes. Man started changing inside also. The ape daily exercise of climbing trees had already developed the bones of their wrist and accustomed their hands to grasping things. Children, the ape was all the time climbing and coming down from trees. That was making his adapted to climbing and coming down. His bones and limbs were all the time in a constant exercise, and this bones and wrist was getting developed, and his hand was grasping things to hold on to. Like I am holding this, I am grasping it. In a standing position, the four limbs were free to handle objects, handle objects and to hold stout stick as weapons. So he was able to, the ape man was now developed man, and now he was standing on erect, and his four limbs were quite developed. He was able to stand straight in a position, and he was able to hold on to things. With the passage of time, the hand developed flexible fingers. Just previously, his legs were developing, his four limbs were developing. Now, his hands are also developing with the flexibility of fingers. Flexibility able to be changed easily according to the situation. This new development made the ape man a craftsman. Now man is becoming a craft person. He could now grasp things and bring them close to his eyes. He wanted whatever things he grasped in his hand, he wanted to see it. So children, with what do we see? With our eyes. So the ape man who has changed into a man now, he wanted to see things with his own eyes. Side by side, the position of the internal organ of the body also changed to suit the erect posture. Even the inside of the body, we have different organs, heart, lungs, kidney, everything inside our body, that was also changing in man. So the brain developed and helped him to use his intelligence in fashioning tools and gradually in rising above the other animal. One very important thing which we have inside our body is the brain. What does the function of our brain is? To think. And this started when man started developing, this also started developing, and gradually man started using his intellect. Intellect means his intelligence. And when he started using his intelligence, he was above animal. He was now no more called an ape but a craftsman. Let's see, man had become ape man, but from this ape man he developed into a craftsman, and his internal organ of the body changed, and the biggest thing changed was the brain that developed inside the human mind. Let's see, man learns to make tools and work with his fellows. Let's see in the next part of the lesson. Biological development alone does not explain the essence of the development of man. The work that he performs in cooperation with his fellow men and with the help of tools which he makes distinguish man in the animal world. The first tool he used were pieces of stone and other things that he found lying around. Gradually he made many new tools. Thus he then changed natural objects into implements and took the first big step towards improving the living condition provided by nature. Let's see what all we distinguish between man and animal. What happened? Man was performing different things. He learned how to use tools. He learned how to work with tools. From where did he get tools? The first thing he used was the stone, which was all on the ground. He sharpened it. He made tools to cut the skin of animals, to make other tools from the stone. He even used the bones of animals to work it out. So man was using his intellect to make things out of which was around in the nature. And what else he found? Gradually the tools had many objects also. Then he changed his objects also. From tools he made big things and moved forward in life. Let's see. After this, man power of speech. Now he has his speech. Every generation of human beings inherit the knowledge of the previous one. Every generation add new knowledge and pass it to the next generation. It is through the continuous accumulation and transmission of knowledge that man makes progress. The ability to speak, the unique feature of man, makes the process of transmission possible. How children we speak? By transmitting our knowledge from one generation to the other. So by speaking, by writing, by listening, we are transmitting our knowledge to others. This is how the early man also gave us, passed on his knowledge to the next generation. This is how we human beings have been passing on knowledge to the other generation. Species of early man. The first species of early man was found in Africa. It's a continent. They were given the name Ramapithecus. They used to live around 8 million years ago. The first ape man who walked upright was very similar to the man-like being was found in Central Africa. They were given the name Australopithecus. A subject species of Australopithecus is Xenanthropus. Definitely made tools. These beings lived around 5 lakh years ago. They lived naked like other animals and ate mostly nuts, roots, insects and worms. The remains of the earliest man-like being in Asia were found in Java. So the first man was found in Africa, Ramaphosaurus, Australopithecus, and Xenotrophosaurus. And they first ate what? Nuts, roots, insects, and worm. First man used to eat all this. Later on, the man which was found in Asia. Asia is our continent where we are living. And the first man found was in fossils which was found was in Java. Alright children, here we finish this lesson today. We will meet in the next session. Thank you children.